Today we're going to talk about reading and writing numbers. So the first thing we have to do is go over some vocabulary. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a period. A period in math, or in place value, is each group of 3 digits separated by a comma in a multi-digit number. Standard form is a way to write the numbers by using the digits 0 through 9, with each digit having a place value. So the normal way in which we see numbers is considered standard form. We have expanded form. Expanded form is a way to write numbers by showing the value of each digit. And then we have word form. Word form is a way to write numbers by using words. Pretty simple definitions here. Some examples of these are, for instance, our period. We have our ones period, which is the far right of the chart. We have our ones, our tens, and our hundreds. And if you notice, the ones period begins with the ones column. Same thing with our thousands period. Our thousands period begins with the thousands column. And then we have the 10,000s, and then we have the 100,000s. Our millions column, or millions period, begins with the millions column, goes to 10 millions and 100 millions. Our next example is our standard form. Standard form is a number written out using digits 0 through 9. So as you notice here, we have 245,782 written in standard form. Our next form is expanded form. Expanded form is the writing of the number using the place values. So we have 200,000 plus 40,000 plus 5,000 plus 700 plus 80 plus 2. And that gives us the standard form of 245,782, and that's just it written as expanded form. And then we have word form, which would be the number written in words. 245,782. Now notice when we have 245,000, the only thousand we have is at the end of the full number in the thousands period. And then we have our comma. The comma separates one period from another. So 245,000 would be in the thousands period. 782 would then be in the ones period. Now we are going to write a number in two different ways. So our first number that we have here is 456,342. And as you can see, it is already written in standard form. So we need to write this number in another form. So we're going to start off by writing it in expanded form. So we're going to take our place value, and we're going to start with the place value of the number or the digit all the way over to the left. So we're going to start with the 4, and I'm going to write a 4, and then I'm going to write down basically just the value. So I have 400,000 plus, then we have our 50,000 and then we're going to plus our 6,000, and then we're going to add our 300, and then our 40, which would be our tens column, and then finally our ones column, which would be 2. And that would be the expanded form of that number. Now, to then write this in word form, we're going to write 400 456 456 1000. And that's where our comma is going to go in. 456,000. And then we're going to continue with our 300. And then our 40. Notice how I did not put an and in there. 40. Two. So we get our word form of 456,000. And once again, we have our comma in there to separate the thousands period from the ones period, 342. On our next one here, we have it written in expanded form. So we have 300 plus 10 plus 2. And so we're going to start by writing that in our standard form. And so we're going to say our 300, and our 10, which would be a 1 in the tens column, and a 2. So 312 would be our number. Now, you always want to change it from expanded form to standard form before we try and write word form. If you don't try and switch that, then it's going to cause problems in the future. You would be writing 300 plus 310 2, when really it's 312. So then we're going to write it in word form. And we're going to go 300, 112. $312, and that gives us it in our word form. And then our last one down here, we have 204 written in word form. And so we're going to write it then in standard form and in expanded form. So 204, I'm going to go ahead and write 204 in standard form first. So I'm going to go 204, and then I'm going to write it in expanded form. And in expanded form, we only need to write the 200 plus. Now we don't have any. We have 0 in the tens column, so we can leave it out, and then write a 4 for the ones column. So 204. And that is how we write numbers in different ways. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the periods once again. Remember, we have the millions period, the thousands period, the ones period. Each period begins on the right side with the column of the name. So here we have the ones column in the ones period. We have the thousands column in the thousands period. And we have the millions column in the millions period. It says, write the name of the period in which the digits are located in the number 456,217,890. So looking up here, we look down here. Our first number is 217. So we're going to take our 217 there, right here. And we're going to look up here, and our 217 is in the middle section here. So if we count over, we have our ones column, our tens column, our hundreds column, our thousands column. So 217 is going to be in our thousands period. So we're going to write thousands down below. So we're going to go, because the name of the period is the thousands. O-U-S-A-N-D-S. It's our thousands period. And then we're going to look at our next one, which is 890. So if we look up here, our 890 or our 890 digits are in our very first period up here. And it's the period that begins in the ones column, and it's the ones period. So we're then going to write our ones period down here. O-N-E-S. Ones period. And then we're going to look at our final digits, 456, 456, and they are in our millions period up here, because their 6 is in the millions column. So we're going to write our millions period down below, M-I-L-L-I-O-N-S. It's our millions period, and that is how we decipher what period our specific digits fall in. And that is how we read and write numbers.